Welcome back. I'm so glad you can join me again today. Today we're going to be deep diving into Stargate Universe, the complete Blu-ray series. And this is the complete set that I promised all of you I was going to do. I had such a huge turnout from the last Stargate review I did, which I think it just topped like 3,500 views already. It's been huge. So I promised I'd do this one, even though I already owned Season 1 on Blu-ray. I'm actually doing a little comparison between this and the Season 1 Blu-ray that was already released. This is the complete series, which includes Season 2 of Stargate Universe that has never been released before on Blu-ray. So this is going to be a unique review. I'm going to be going through a little something, the Blu-ray to Blu-ray comparison a little bit, talking about that, and then also going into what makes this set basically unique. So make sure you stick with me till the end. Now, I will have some things at the end. I wanted to talk about some of the other Stargate releases that have come out. I know I did a review on Stargate SG-1, but I've had a lot of questions about Atlantis, the Blu-ray release as well, that I wanted to talk about as well, but we'll do that at the end, so make sure you stick around to the end, and I'll kind of go into that a little bit more and explain what I thought about that set and things like that. But let's get into this one here a little bit here. Now, the thing I did like about it is it did come in a slipcover just like the SG-1 set that I reviewed earlier on the channel, which if you haven't seen that one yet, it'll be down in the description section, or you can go right to my channel. It's listed on there as well under the videos. The Stargate SG-1 Remastered Blu-ray set is on there as well. But talking about this, it does have a slipcover on it. I did like that it had it on it. Now, I do want to show you a comparison here real quick between the Season 1 box set that I originally owned. So to show you the Season 1 box set here, this is the Season 1 box set. Now, I'm going to put them in front of my face, which you're not supposed to do, but it's the only way I can show you both of these, and I'll always have pictures above to show you as well. But if you can kind of see here, this full season series release versus just the one season, it's a little bit taller. It's kind of like the size of original, like, I'd say a DVD series set case is how this looks. Now, it is just as thick. They're both the same thickness. Now remember though, this SG-1 release is the complete series, whereas this is only Season 1 that was ever released originally. And if you look at them side by side here, they're the same thickness, just the new release is slightly taller of a Blu-ray case. I'd probably say it's about a little over half an inch taller. That's about it. But same thickness, but you are getting Season 2 in the new release versus what I have in Season 1. Now, I'll show you this side of them both side by side. This one had separate cases. This one is all in one single case, and I'll show you that here. So I'm going to set Season 1 that I originally owned aside here. And we're just going to go into this box set here for a second. So when you take the sleeve off, you obviously have the nice sleeve here. Now the artwork's the same on the sleeve as it is on the actual case. So I'm just going to show you the sleeve here for a second. On the side here, you've got it where it says SG-1 on it, complete series, 40 episodes, which does have the full 40 episodes because the second season's never been released on Blu-ray anywhere in the world except in this release. So for those of us that are collectors or those of us that loved Stargate in general, it's great to finally have the complete series. If you have basically SG-1, all the movies, Stargate Atlantis, and this set, you'll end up having the whole series then, which is great. You have the whole thing, and I love it. So I'll kind of go into this. Obviously the back, it lists off just basically special features. It does have some incorrect information printed on the back again, just like on the Stargate SG-1 box set that I talked about before. It does have some things that are printed incorrectly on the box set. It doesn't mean that the set doesn't have what's supposed to be in there, but it has Region 1 listed. This is not a DVD release, so therefore that doesn't apply to it, so it was misprinted. But those of you that don't know about Stargate Universe here for a second, Stargate Universe was basically the final Stargate series that aired on TV. There was basically a Stargate like mini, I don't know if you call them web series, what it was, where it was called Catherine or something. I never saw it because it was never released on TV, nor was it a big release. It never even came out on Blu-ray or anything. So this was officially, in my mind, kind of the end of the Stargate series, that they haven't done much from then on with it. So Stargate Universe got 2 seasons. All 40 episodes are included. And if you like Stargate, you're going to want to have this to finish up your series. Now, Stargate Universe was a little bit of a darker Stargate series, and they kind of started that trend with Atlantis, had some darker stories, but Stargate Universe upped it, in my opinion, about 5 to 10 notches above that. It was quite a bit more serious toned, less lighthearted. There was not very much lighthearted episodes or comedic things. There was little comedic like funny things would happen, but not like Stargate SG-1 had lots of it. Even Atlantis had a lot more comedy. This was a lot more serious of a show, and I feel like maybe that's why Stargate Universe got canceled after 2 seasons and only got 40 episodes, was because it was so much drastically a change from even SG-1 that you've kind of seen a trend that then Universe just went, I mean, in my opinion, it was a much darker series. But I do enjoy it, and I'm glad to have the whole series together. And if you're a collector like me that wants to have all of the series that are released on Blu-ray, remastered, things like that, I didn't have season 2, so I bought this for all of you like we talked about. So that way I told you I would do a review. Because of the enormous amount of likes and comments and things I've gotten from the Stargate SG-1 review I did, I went out and bought this just for you guys with my own money. That way I could do the review here. Now, it does have on the side, I kind of briefed over this real quick, it does say MGM on it though, so this is another official release that was licensed out by VEI. Now, in the case, I did say it's the same artwork where it has Blu-ray disc at the top, same artwork on the side that I just showed you, and same artwork on the back, with some of the misprinting on the things on this. Now, it did run from 2009 to 2011. According to the back of the box here, it does have, obviously, all 40 episodes, which comes out to 28 hours and 40 minutes. It does say the aspect ratio is 16:9. As far as the set goes, I do like the box case this came in. I talked about it a little bit on the SG-1 that I really like that box case. This one is a lot smaller than the SG-1 box case. And I'll show you the SG-1 box case here next to this, just so you see size difference here. All right, so here's your size difference between the two of them. I'm showing them side by side here. So you can kind of see that basically Stargate Universe is basically a little thicker than a DVD series case would have been, whereas the SG-1 obviously is 10 seasons, so you can't even compare it. But yeah, it's a bigger case. But that just kind of gives you a little bit of an idea and size difference. If you already own the SG-1 set, you can kind of get an idea of how big this set is. All right, so going into the case here, same blue case. I do like these cases. They're thick. And as you'll hear when I open this up, it's got a real nice snap to it. It's real solid. And when you open it up inside here, the discs are actually in here sideways. When I got it, I thought that was something wrong with it. It's not. The way that the case is cut, I can't turn the disc the other direction in a weird way with them fitting correctly in there. So they do go in sideways into this slotted compartment here. The book was sitting in there sideways when I got it as well. So showing you this is exactly how I got it. So you have the little booklet here, which I will go into this here in just a few minutes, but we're going to go into the case here first. So the discs being on the side here is how they come. And when you take them out, they are each in individual sleeves. So instead of them being in kind of a booklet like the SG-1 one was, each one of these is in an individual sleeve. And I'll show you here. When you take them out, as you see it, just they set in there. And the case is nice and sturdy. I'm going to set this down here. So each one of these has listed on it the season, the disc, the episodes. It does not list out the special features on the disc, but it does say that they're on each disc. And there's one disc on the front and one disc on the back of each of these sleeves. So in total, there's 8 discs total in the entire set. Now, there is some interesting things about that in case any of you that own season 1 already are going to notice. But there are a total of 8 discs. You like these sleeves, as I said before, they're very easy to use. As you can see, you can slide them up very easily and the discs come out without scratching. It's got a nice, like, it's not really felt, but I called it felt before. Just a soft, like, material behind it. None of them were scratched. They were all perfectly fine. And I actually like how they come like this because I don't have to worry about them sliding out of, like, clips and then, like, getting scratched up or anything like that. So I do like how that comes. All the artwork on each of the discs, without going into each one individually, is basically the same with just slight color variations behind it, other than, obviously, the titles of each episode is different on them. So on to the book here now. On the book, it does come with a nice little booklet with the same art that was on the front cover of the box set. It basically goes through telling you what episodes are on each disc. Now, this is something I did want to point out for a lot of you that have asked questions about this. On disc 1, it does include Air Part 1, 2, and 3, and the Air extended version. So, those of you that were worried that if you didn't have the original Blu-ray release of Season 1, like what I was talking about a minute ago, that you were going to miss out on that, it's not. It's included in here. So, on disc 1, it does include the Air extended version as well. Then it lists out each episode on them. Same thing, it goes through then all your bonus features that are listed out on here. Then it goes through your Season 2 disc, and then it also lists out all your bonus features for that. Now, The one thing I do like about these VEI releases is I like these little like cheat sheet booklets because it makes it easy when you're looking for an episode to just go in here instead of having to pop the disc in or look on the disc. I can just look through the booklet. So I do like these little booklets. I think they add a nice little like touch to the set. So I do give VEI props for that. I did like the little booklet. So if you want to hear the snap of this case, this is what I was talking about, how nice the cases are. So it's got a nice hefty snap to these. Now I'm going to go into the difference between the two different Blu-ray releases. This is season 1 that's been out for several years, and this is obviously the complete series. But there are some major differences between the sets that I found out along the way. So I'm going to set these down while I talk about them, but I'm going to list off the differences between obviously the season 1 release and season 1 release that's in this set. Now, season 2, as I talked about, has never been released on Blu-ray before. So the season 2 was a big benefit of getting the complete series release because you couldn't own it on Blu-ray before this in HD. So I do like that. So we're going to have the season 1 release over here, and then we're going to have the complete series release over here. So when we're talking about the difference between these two releases, I went through and made a list of the differences. So that way I could kind of give you guys a difference. Here's what you're going to have on one. Here's what you're going to have on the other. That way, if you own season 1 already, you'll know if you're going to want to keep that and get the complete series set so you have season 2. And I'll break it down. So season 1 over here, you're going to have DTS HD Master Audio 5.1, and that's in English. Now, on the complete series set release, they do not have any DTS HD Master Audio at all. So what it had on it is Dolby Digital 5.1 and 2.0 stereo. Now, you can, on the season 1 release, play it in 2.0 stereo in English as well. That's in Dolby though. So they took that to the complete series set release, the 2.0 Dolby that was on the Blu-ray season 1. That is available on the complete series set release. But the DTS HD Master Audio that season 1 has on it already, it does not get. And I will say this much on a downside of the SG Universe complete series set release. I mean, it was noticeable. There was a noticeable drop in audio quality on their 5.1 Dolby Digital versus what you had on the DTS HD 5.1. Even the bass and the sound stage, basically, is what I'll call it, is where basically you could hear more things coming from the right speaker, the left speaker, the back left, your subwoofer, your back right. So there was all different things that you noticed, and when I played them both, there was a noticeable audio quality difference. On season 1, the DTS HD Master Audio did sound quite a bit better than what was available on the Stargate Universe season 1. Now again, this only applies to season 1 because season 2 was never released. On the season 1 release here, you do get Dolby Digital 5.1 in Spanish. On the complete series release, all you get is the English options. So if you are wanting to be able to play the show in Spanish and English, you're going to want to get the season 1 release on its own, so that way you at least get season 1 where you can play it in Spanish. Now, continuing on with the differences between the two. On the complete series set release, you do get subtitles in English, but only English. That's the only option you get on the complete series set release. On season 1, the previous release that was already available, you do get English, French, and Spanish subtitles. So again, the season 1 release does have additional things on it. Just in that side of the subtitles, you get English, French, and Spanish. Next, onto discs. Talking about season 1 only. In case you didn't notice when I was showing you the amount of discs, how there was 4 per season on the complete series set release. 4 for season 1, 4 for season 2. Well, on season 1 of this set, the original set, you got 5 Blu-ray discs. So they did give you more discs to spread out the content a little more, which is why I think it has better audio options, and there is some other differences. So you do get some more discs in season 1, 5, versus 4 for season 1 in the complete series set release. On top of that, in the season 1 release on its own, you averaged 3 to 4 episodes at max per disc because you got 5 Blu-ray discs. On the complete series set release they released, you averaged anywhere between 5 to 6 episodes every disc. So, and that went all the way through season 2 as well. So what that meant was there was a lot more being put onto the discs than what you had in the season 1 release on its own. So there is some slight differences between that. And I'm going to get to image later on, but I will just say this so you understand this because we're talking about the comparison. In Season 1 versus the Season 1 in the complete series set release, the image is just slightly softer. And what I mean by that is it seems like they did a passover on it from the original release, the files they got of this that was already in HD, and they did a slight, it's not super waxy, it's not anywhere near like some of the early first couple seasons of SG-1 that I talked about were. There's a little bit less film grain, if that makes sense. Just a little bit. Now, was it noticeable enough that I could take pictures of it? No, and I tried, and that's why I'm trying to talk about this right now when we're doing the comparison. And I tried to get screenshots to show you the difference between, obviously, Season 1 and Season 1 of this. But the issues were it didn't come out. There was no way to actually show it. I would say it was less than maybe 5% difference noticeable. I mean, it was truly, you had to look real hard to notice the difference, but there was just slightly. So if you're looking for visual quality and you're saying, well, visual wise, is the set for Season 1 worth it? I mean, visual wise, the 5% difference that yes, Season 1 looked better wouldn't outweigh it, but because of the audio options that Season 1 already had, I'm not getting rid of my Season 1. And that's where this review, I think, is an important thing for a lot of you that are collectors like me. I already had Season 1, and I was debating on selling it after I got Stargate Universe, the complete series over here. And after getting it, I'm not going to sell Season 1. My Season 1 does look slightly better, and I'm always about the best quality out there. And Season 1 does look just slightly better, but the audio option is so much better on the DTS HD 5.1 Master Audio than what you had the option on the complete series set for Season 1. So I'll watch my Season 1 set. I'm going to keep it, watch that season set, and then when I get to Season 2, I'll play it through the complete series set, since that's the only Blu-ray set that exists. Now, there are some other differences to go through between these two sets as well. Now, I talked about the episodes. That might be due to, because of the audio options, because they put more on the complete series set discs, that they couldn't fit as much bit rate for the audio and things like that, which might be why they did that, because they had less discs. So that's another trade-off between the two. Now, another big difference between the two that I ran into, for those of you that are hardcore Stargate collectors, you like to have all the special features, all the content, this is going to be a big deal for all of you. So, in the Stargate Universe complete series set, it talks about all the special features on there, and it does not include all the special features that were on the Season 1 set that was already released. There are several Blu-ray exclusive special features that were released on the Blu-ray set that are not included in the Stargate Universe complete series set. So, again, if you're a hardcore collector like me, you want to have everything, have the best, in my opinion, you're going to want to end up buying both. And I know that sounds bad, and I know maybe you're thinking, well, that kind of doesn't give you a great answer, but it does. Season 2 was never released, so Season 2, I feel like you got to have it to complete your collection. So the only way to get that is through the complete series set. But if you want the best audio, the slightly, very unnoticeable visual difference, unless you're really looking and really picky. I mean, you have to look so hard to see the difference. But audio and special features, subtitles and audio options, Season 1 that was originally released has still got the best option for all of that. Some of the special features that are missing on the complete series set were things like there was a behind the scenes making of Stargate Universe, the survival game. It's on, obviously, the Blu-ray exclusive special features on Season 1. It is not included in the Stargate Universe complete series set at all. And there were several other special features that the Stargate Universe complete series set was missing that are included on the complete series set that was originally released. So if you're wanting the complete collection with all the special features you can possibly get from Stargate Universe, you're going to want to buy Season 1 that's already been released, plus the complete series set, and then you'll have the complete collection of all the special features. All the episodes are in the complete series set, so you're not missing out on episodes. It's only audio options, special features, subtitle options, and then slight visual. Now back to talking about just this set on its own, since we've gone through kind of the comparison of the Season 1 versus the season 1 in this. Season 2 is great. It is in full HD, 1080p. It looks great. Like I said, compared to season 1, it looks great. The 5% difference that season 1 had, because you can't get season 2 anyways, compared to the DVDs that had been available a long time before this, obviously a full 1080p picture is beautiful. And I've been showing you as we've been going along, obviously screenshots and now of this set going forward, and it looks great. I thought full 1080p picture, people didn't look all waxy. They didn't spend a ton of time doing a bunch of DNR like they did on the Stargate SG-1 set that I can tell. Now there was some DNR. Like I said, I think that's where it gets that little bit 5% less clarity from what was on season 1 originally released on Blu-ray to this. But the little bit of maybe DNR they used on it is not anywhere like what they did on SG-1's first 3 seasons. And it does look great. I mean, this looks full HD, special effects look great on it. I wish the show would have continued because I really did like Stargate Universe, and it ends, without spoiling something for those of you that haven't seen it, it does end on a cliffhanger. And that always bothered me because I really did like Stargate Universe. It was going in a completely different direction for Stargate. But for those of you that like to collect an entire series of a show, it was some great sci-fi storytelling in it. An ongoing story throughout the whole thing, which was completely different for Stargate, and I really liked it. I mean, it basically, every episode continued right after where the other episode left off. And I really liked that for Stargate Universe. And that's where I feel like this show is very unique. I recommend picking this up because I did like the show. All 40 episodes being included, now I have the complete series, which I never had before. I only had season 1. Now, if you don't own season 1 at all, for those of you that are just trying to decide if this is worth picking up, then yes. If you don't own season 1 at all, you're not going to notice the difference. It does have the 5.1 Dolby Digital in it. Just don't expect that to be amazing with the soundstage. It's kind of a little bit of a dumbed down audio mix on this versus what season 1 had. Now, they were in the same aspect ratio. I did get a lot of questions after I did the Stargate SG-1. These are the exact same aspect ratio as what the original Blu-ray was that was released. So they didn't cut anything out of these, just like the Stargate SG-1s. They didn't cut any scenes out of that either. So it's all the original aspect ratio. Nothing was cut out to shrink the screen down or make it bigger, zoom in, nothing like that. It's all the original aspect ratio, and it looked great. And for those of you that watch my channel because you want to know about something, whether it's region free or region locked, I do have something exciting on the Stargate Universe set. On this specific Stargate Universe set, it is region free. So on this Stargate Universe Complete Series set, when I tried it in all of my region Blu-ray players, region A, B, and C, it played in all of them with no issues. I didn't have any region coding come up that locked it out or anything like that. So this set is region free. Now again, a lot of you have said that the Stargate SG-1 set is difficult to import. That's because it's being only sold in the US, but there are some companies out there that I've heard of that will import it for you, that'll buy it and then ship it to you, things like that. So you can always check those out. You'll have to buy it through Amazon, which the links are listed down below in the description section below this video. But it is a region-free release as well. It seems like all of VEI's releases, to be honest, they've all been region-free. I haven't had any region lockings on any of them. And I've done several VEI releases on Blu-ray reviews on my channel. There's a Nash Bridges one they did, the complete series that I did a review on my channel as well. That one was region free. And there's several others. So if you want to check those out, you can go down to the channel and check those out. Now on the special features for this set, it does include commentaries and all the video diaries, which were mini shorts that were included in the season 1. It has them all for season 2 as well. It has commentaries on every single episode. It does list over 2 hours of special features plus commentaries on all the episodes. Obviously, I told you about the extended episode for air. It has all the chatting with the cast featurettes, and then it has all the behind the scenes. But it is missing, like I said, some of those Blu-ray exclusive special features that were on season 1. But season 2 special features were all intact, including the behind the scenes talking about the series finale of season 2, which I did enjoy that one as well. So my review score for this set, I do think that they did a better job with the artwork on this. They just basically carried over the artwork from the Blu-ray set that was previously released, so I guess they couldn't mess up that. I did love how the final season was in HD for once, that I could own that fully in HD, but I did have to take some points off from what my original thought was for the score because, again, season 1 was not as nice as the season 1 release that was already released. It had more special features and things like that. So because of that, my score for this is only slightly better than what I gave for the Stargate SG-1 set, simply because the second season has never been released. I was so thankful to get season 2, so I was excited about that. But the season 1 release in this, if you're really wanting to collect it, like I said, you're going to want to have both. So for this review score, you're looking at an 8.7 for this release. And this is both seasons, like I said, the complete series. So 8.7 is a good score for it. I suggest supporting the release, getting it, because we want more of these to come out, great shows like this. And I did enjoy it, but I still believe they could have done a better job with that first season because they already had it in DTS HD 5.1 master audio. That's a much better mix than what they put on here. So that was kind of where they got dinged some points on that. So 8.7 is what you're looking at for this score. Now, I did want to talk to you about a couple of other things on here. As I talked about previously, I told you I would cover what my thoughts are about all of the Stargate complete series set that they offer as well. And I'll have Stargate Universe listed down in the description section below this video. I will have the links for these through Amazon that you can go out and buy these through there. I went and got all those so you don't have to go search for them. You just go down the description section. It'll have all of the Stargate Blu-ray sets that are available listed out there in the description section below. Now, that brings up the other thing that I told you we'd talk about. So I've done the Stargate, obviously, SG-1 complete Blu-ray set review already. And a lot of you have asked about the other Stargate Atlantis Blu-ray set. And because I did get the Stargate Universe Blu-ray set to compare to my Season 1, that did answer a lot of questions I had and kind of gave me some direction to explain about Stargate Universe set, what my opinions are on that, and then also kind of talk to you about what I suggest as a collector that I think you should do to have the best audio and visual quality. Now, so I felt like you should buy both these together if you want the best visual and audio quality. Talking about Stargate Atlantis here for a second. I already own Stargate Atlantis on Blu-ray, and based on what I've seen that they did with the HD content that they already had available to them, they are slightly cramming more discs than what the original Blu-ray releases were and putting lesser audio quality than the Blu-ray. Now, compared to DVDs, obviously they're going to be better than the DVDs were in most cases, especially the visual quality because they were HD anyways. But if you have a choice, which you do on Atlantis, between the original, just like what I have, MGM release of Atlantis, the complete series on Blu-ray, versus their new VEI, basically release of the same content. Same thing applies. My understanding is slightly less discs on VEI's release versus the original MGM. And then also your audio options on your original MGM was DTS HD Master Audio, which sounds a whole lot better now that I've had, obviously, the Stargate Universe release to compare to. I would suggest getting the original MGM release simply because the visual, audio, and I'm sure there's special features in this now that I've found out that the Stargate Universe set does not include all of Season 1's special features that were already released. I'm sure it's going to be the same case with this. So I hope that kind of answers your question of whether or not you should get the Stargate Atlantis set that VEI is released, or whether you should get the original MGM one. Even though the MGM one costs more, I feel like it's a better set. So in my opinion, based on what I've seen VEI do, because you do have an option on this one, I would suggest getting the original MGM Stargate Atlantis set if you can. Unless your budget doesn't contain that and you really got to get the cheaper version of it from VEI, if you're looking for the best quality, this is what I recommend, the original MGM release. And I'll have all of these posted in the links in the description section below. And I'll show you here, this is my entire Stargate collection that I have now, not including the movies, which I do have those. I'll have everything that you need to complete your Stargate collection from beginning to end posted down in the description section below this video. I'll have the Stargate 1 set that I already reviewed, both Stargate Atlantis sets, depending on your budget, which one you decide to get, the Stargate Universe set, and the Stargate Universe Season 1 set on its own. I'll post them all below, as well as the movies that you would need that bridge the gap from Stargate SG-1 and basically have the ending movies at the end of that series. I'll post those down below in the description section below as well. But I just thought I'd show you this is what I recommend you getting. Now, of all the releases that VEI did of the Stargate series on Blu-ray here, my biggest thing that I've noticed from all of them that I've gotten is the audio option being slightly degraded on Blu-ray to Blu-ray. Now, DVD-wise, I kind of felt like it was the same comparing the DVD to the Blu-ray audio. I didn't notice that much of a difference other than some hiccups in SG1, which might have been the mastering of those discs that I had. But if you want to check that one out, you can go check that one out on my channel. The complete review's out there. But on these in general, the VEI releases in general, I am happy we got them. And I've seen a lot of people complaining, saying, well, man, they should have done this better and should have done that better. I agree. There was things they could have done better, but you're talking a very small studio here. A small studio doing something that they licensed and bought the rights from MGM to make these releases. They don't have very big budget, I'm sure, to do a whole lot with it. And they were trying to save maybe a little money by maybe cutting back a little on the discs like they did in the set for Stargate Universe. They cut back a disc that was in the original season 1. Now again, I would have loved for them to have had all that content and things on there. They didn't, but I'm thankful they released season 2 on Blu-ray because as a collector, I love adding something that was never available before to my collection. So having season 2 now completes my Stargate Universe collection, and I'm very happy about that. So there are positives to this. Try to look at the positives and the negatives and then determine which set you want. Because there are some Blu-ray options available of which sets to buy, that's why I wanted to explain to you about the difference between the Atlantis set. A lot of people have asked me, they do have a complete series set on Blu-ray from VEI, which includes all the series in one big box set. I didn't buy that because of, like you see the issues I've gone through on these. I didn't want the Atlantis set, considering that my Atlantis set is better than what they're offering. So in that case, I didn't want to spend the extra money for it. For those of you that don't own any of it and want it all on Blu-ray, it might be a good option. I'll put the link for that in the description section below as well. It includes all the box sets that I showed you, but it includes their version of Atlantis, which again will have the lesser audio options on it, lesser subtitles than what I have on my set that I already know of. So, and there will be some special features missing because each set has had at least 1 to 2 special features missing from the set on Stargate Universe and Atlantis. So, I hope that kind of answers and gives you a little bit more direction. I know a lot of you have been really excited about this review and waiting for it. I hope a lot of you really enjoyed this because I did this all for you. I went out and bought this. Second season, yes, I wanted to own, but I was trying to debate if it was worth the money because I already owned season 1. And now that I own it, I did like season 2, and I'm glad to have it in HD. It looked great, full 1080p HD picture, and it was never available before. So I was excited to have that. I also wanted to point out a couple of things about the series. Some people have brought up streaming services. I have actually been checking on that recently. I don't watch streaming. As all of you know, I can't stand streaming services. I think they're the doom and the reason why physical media is being made less and less. So therefore, I don't buy any of them. I don't watch any of them. But I did see some articles come up recently. Somebody sent me one letting me know that Stargate is being taken off of like Amazon and the streaming services. It's being taken down again. And it's not going to be available on there. And I don't know how long that's going to be. The article really didn't talk about it, but my understanding is that because of the rights being bought maybe by VEI, I don't know, that their streaming rights are over. So it's not going to be available on there anymore. So this is another prime example of why I always support physical media. Because in physical media, I can own these sets, have them, and watch them anytime. And I don't get it taken away from me. I might be watching in the middle of season 2 and all of a sudden they say, hey, it's not available on our streaming service anymore. And you don't get to watch the rest until maybe it comes back 6 months later, if it comes back. So in this case, that is why I was glad to buy season 2 and own season 2 of Stargate Universe in the complete series set. And that's why I have all of them on Blu-ray. I strongly believe, as most of you know, we need to support physical media. Otherwise, one day we will all look back just like we do with rental movie stores, Blockbuster, and all those being gone, and we'll say, hey, what happened to it? There's no physical media to go out there and watch anymore. And now streaming services taking away episodes, and like you hear, they're editing content, so you're not getting the original content anymore. Which that brings me to my next point. I will be releasing that review that I did of that out-of-print title. And that one has some very unique things on it. Now, you might be able to find some people that are actually selling it that are on eBay or other things like that. And I'll put what links I can under that video of where I found that people are still have it available possibly. But that review was very, very unique because of what I'm talking about. That series 1 is not available in its original form anymore, which is going to be an exciting one for you guys to watch. I was so excited for you guys and so disappointed when I found out it's very hard to come by now. But in that series, I talk about it that they've actually gotten rid of completely deleted episodes to where even on certain streaming services, you can't even watch those episodes anymore. They're gone. So those people that have that series that I'm talking about, just like we're talking about Stargate here, I can see it in the future that there's some episodes that I can see them just deleting altogether because of censorship and things like that. It's kind of gotten out of hand, especially with movies and things. They're cutting out whole episodes out of series that a lot of people, unless you're a fan of the show, you aren't noticing on streaming unless you go back and compare it to either the DVDs or Blu-rays that exist. So we need to support these physical media releases, even if it's not perfect and everything isn't perfect on it. You know what? It's great they released it, because at least then you own the content to watch on your own time, without somebody telling you, hey, we didn't like this in the episode, hey, we've edited out 10 minutes of this episode or just gotten rid of this episode, or hey, it's not available on streaming service and I want to watch it right now, oh, I can't watch it. Well, buying this, you own it on your own. So I do recommend the release. Let me know if you're going to buy this set in the comments below. I always love to hear from all of you. Let me know if you're excited about that review I'm going to be releasing real soon of that out-of-print title. But let me know what your thoughts are about streaming versus physical as well. I mean, I'm all about physical media, hence the name of the channel, In Search of Physical Media, and I love physical media. But I had a great time doing this. I hope all of you had fun today. I always look forward to when we get to talk and go through things. But as always, I will have everything linked in the description section below this video, and I do appreciate you going through there and clicking those links. That always helps out the channel. And then please make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below, and then right next to it, the bell notification. That way you get notified as I release new videos each week, just like this one. That way you'll get notified right away when those come out. And then you can always follow me on my Instagram and my Facebook, which is In Search of Physical Media, the name of the channel. And you can always go onto my YouTube page here, and it's the links right there for Instagram and Facebook. And if you follow me on either of those, Facebook or Instagram, I always put out a little extra content. That way there's a little something during the week, things I've gotten in, things I think about that I don't get to review all the time, and just little tidbits and reviews I do on there. So make sure you follow me on Instagram or Facebook if you can. That way you get a little extra content as well. As always, I appreciate all your time today, and I hope you've had fun with this. And I hope all of you have a blessed day, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon.